So I was very excited 8 or 9 months ago when Valerie came and said, look what I found. And she had found this book and this program about pandemic busters. And it talked about using the 8 health laws on, these are all natural. You don't have to go to the doctor's office. You don't need a prescription. But when you follow those, you get such a change in your health. And I look at people like my mom and my dad, and they were typical American people, you know, sick, overweight, different issues. But then they went to a program, and in 3 weeks, they came back. My dad was very strict. He took everything out of the cupboards and only put back what they learned was healthy to eat. And they changed their whole lifestyle around. And, you know, my dad was one whose brothers, his brothers had either diabetes or hypertension and died in their 60s, and yet he lived till almost, I can't remember the year, Mom, 88, which was amazing for him. And the other thing about my mom, here she is 94 years old. We had come back from vacation up in Eureka, and somehow I had caught COVID. And so on the way back, here I was, you know, ill in my, you know, asleep in the chair. But guess what? I was the only one that was ill. My mother that was sitting in the car for 2.5 hours and my husband never contracted it. And I was amazed. So they have continued with the principles. So I'm very excited to present this program. It's going to be 6 Sunday evenings in January and February, and it'll be starting January 11. Here she's got it on your flyer that you have, from 6:30 to 7 p.m. That's right, just 30 minutes. And everyone who pre-registers will be able to get this handbook for free. So I'm going to be presenting this to the clinics and to the other churches and places in the area as well. And I wanted to make sure that the children know. So Valerie's going to be directing the adult meetings, which will be here in the church so that we'll have enough room. And I will be back in the classroom with the children so that they will learn. And I also want to tell you that we have an exciting lineup of speakers. There'll be 3 in January, which includes Valerie, who's a lab scientist, and she'll be talking about sunshine and air. Then we have Bob Merritt, a physical therapist, talking about exercise. We have our own chaplain, Erwin, who's going to be talking about stress and the benefits of trusting in God. And then in February, we have 3 physicians that are going to be talking. Dr. Bowen, well, of course, he's talking about bones and specifically fractures and arthritis. And then Dr. McClarty is going to be talking about the gut and gallbladder. And Dr. Coombson is going to be talking about the heart, blood pressure, and about diabetes. So I think it's an exciting array. I think for 30 minutes of your time during the week, you will be blessed.
And so on this, we've all been raised Adventist Church, you know, with New Start, the 8 laws of health: nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, rest, and trust in God. But sometimes it's nice to remind ourselves of why this message is so important, especially for this day and age. There are a few quotes that I recently came across that I found were really powerful. The first one is published in a General Conference Bulletin from Ellen White back in April 12, 1901, so quite a while back. But she says, "I wish to tell you that soon there will be no work done in ministerial lines but medical missionary work. You will never be ministers after the gospel order till you show a decided interest in medical missionary work, the gospel of healing and blessing and strengthening. I know that medical missionary work is the gospel in practice, and as the Lord has declared, is never to be separated from the gospel ministry. And it's another one from Testimonies, Volume 7, page 62. We have come to a time when every member of the church should take hold of medical missionary work. The world is a Lazar house filled with victims of both physical and spiritual disease. Everywhere people are perishing for lack of a knowledge of the truths that have been committed to us. The members of the church are in need of awakening that they may realize their responsibility to impart these truths. And there's more, but I mean, it goes back to, Jesus, actually, I'd say more than half of his ministry involved healing the sick, and bringing more health to people. So it's our first duty as Christians. But.
So I want to ask for you to hold up this sheet that you found in your bulletin. Everybody hold that sheet up. So there's something special that I want you to do. So this is the invitation. There is a, what's that square called? QR code. You can tell I'm a ways over. Okay. That will tell them to scan the trailer. And then also in the back is the full documentary, which is 2 hours. And it also has a little blue one where they can pre-register. So if you are taking this home, it is because it's for the purpose of handing this out to a friend, all right, or family that may be interested in coming, and inviting them to come. So remember, Valerie Trimmer worked this up and has it all, and it explains everything about the program and how to get here. And we want you to make sure that people get it in their hands. It's also on the Facebook, the Willits Facebook page. So we're trying to get the word out to let everybody know that this is something that doesn't cost money. You know, I know that you're still concerned about the big, beautiful bills and the impact of the shutdown that has on not only our economy, but also maybe health. You know, there may be a lot of hospitals closing, a lot of clinics, a lot of insurance that people will no longer have access to, and this is going to have a real ripple effect. So what are we going to do? What's the answer? You know, when we're not able to go to our doctors every month or, 6 months like we're used to doing, and all those pills that we're used to being able to get, how are we going to be able to have a life, and not just a long life, but a healthy life and a useful life? And so with these secrets, these 8 health secrets, they will give us a pattern to follow that we can take charge of our health and not only continue good health, but to gain good health back if we've already let it slip, like I've told you about my parents. So I invite you to take this home, not put it on the countertop, but take it out and share it with a friend or a family member.
And I have one last point I want to make. How many of you like cake, brownies, cookies? How about, what do you feel when you think of broccoli? Oh, pretty good. Rutabaga? Okra? Okay, we have a good crowd here. Basically, there's another principle I want to highlight. It ties into the text, the truth shall set you free. I know, like, health we talk about health, and it seems kind of like a burdensome. It's like, oh, that means I can't have my cake and ice cream and eat it too. But you can also think of it in another way. Think of like the truth of that item. There's that cake, that cookie, that brownie. It tastes good. You have like a really great sensation eating it, but is it good for you? Then you look at broccoli, you don't really have these feelings of excitement. It's like, oh, I can't wait to eat this broccoli. But you know it's full of those nutrients, the antioxidants, those cancer-fighting compounds, and so you know it's good for you. And so that's another good thing to highlight, that principle. Is like, what are your thoughts towards something that is good for you versus something that is bad? Are your thoughts toward that thing true? Or are you just in there for the experience? But anyway, last point.
All right. So we have a final video that we want to show, a music video, and I think this is the goal that we each have, and that is looking to, I don't have my, I can't remember the name of the video, the song. I have fixed my mind on another time. So sit back and enjoy that, and then we'll have our final prayer.